All right. So the company Jade and I are working with and working for is called Zilis. It's not pronounced Zilis, it's pronounced Zilis, and it's a combination of two Swahili words which mean nutrition multiplied. And one of the cool things that attracted us to this business and that we use to share with other people is that it's not just about making money, it's not just about quality products, but it's got this third component of multiplying blessings and paying it forward and using your position and using your opportunity to bless other people. And we'll get into some more details later on in the presentation about how Zilis and how ambassadors are expected to pay it forward and bless other people. Let's talk a little bit about the leadership of our company. Um, and in our experience so far, we're really pleased with how the company is being led. We're really confident in Stephen Thompson and his wife Angie, who are the co-founders of the Zilis company. So the company started up a little over 3 years ago, so it's really really young, but it's growing exponentially. I mean, it's had I think it was about 2,000% growth over the past year of ambassadors and of people joining the company. So it's growing super fast, and it's only going to go faster, and we'll talk about why here soon. But basically, Stephen Thompson has had about 2 decades of experience and success in the network marketing industry and in the health and wellness industry as well. They're multi millionaires, and so they know how to do this business. They know how to structure it correctly. They know how to train people to do it correctly. Um, but aside from that, one of the cool things that Stephen does that I really actually appreciate, even though I've never met him yet, is that every Monday night he leads a freedom call. Freedom call is what they call it, and it's a conference call and a webinar where he takes about an hour and trains, um, updates some trainings and gives tips and advice for ambassadors and gives up different updates on products and on strategy and on different things the company's up to. Um, and then occasionally they'll actually have some successful ambassadors just sort of share for 5 minutes how they got involved and how they've have found success to encourage you. So me and Jaden, we really appreciate that he takes the time to really be hands on and train. And he's active in events and traveling and meeting with people. So from our perspective, we feel like the company has really great leadership on the business side, and on the science and health side of things. Dr. Derek De Silva, he's the chief medical officer. He's the head of um, the medical advisory team that Zilis has put together to help oversee the making UltraCell, the health aspects, looking into the science behind it. There's a team of nurse practitioners and doctors and veterinarians and dentists, who sort of work together, um, to oversee the health and science aspect, and they work with Steve and Angie to do the business side of things. And so Dr. Derek De Silva here, he's sort of a nationwide expert on CBD. He's been on lots of big national news shows, doing interviews and demonstrations, and he's the founder of the American Nutraceutical Association, which focuses on natural ways to deal with health issues as opposed to prescriptions or drugs. So the industry itself of CBD, this is not specific to Zilis and not specific to UltraCell, but it's just the overall industry nationwide, for CBD products. Um, Within the next year or two, these major news stations and newspapers and there's lots of other articles you can find online that project that about a 700% increase is coming over the next year or two for um, companies in the CBD industry. And so one of the big things that really impacts this even further is actually today, this very day that I'm recording this, the 2018 Farm Bill was passed. President Trump signed it today. And so what that does is it reclassifies hemp as an agricultural crop, much like corn or cotton, or wheat. Whereas before, it was still in some states on the Schedule 1 controlled substances list. And so lots of people got hemp confused with marijuana. And so what this is going to do, the Farm Bill is going to do, is it completely legalizes hemp on the federal level across the board for the whole country. So it's going to relieve a lot of that confusion and hesitation and skepticism that people had before because they just thought hemp was the same thing as marijuana or different different beliefs, different thoughts like that. So the interest in the explosion of this industry is only going to just be fueled and really take off here over the next several years. So people who are in the industry are positioned to have success. So this ECS, the endocannabinoid system, it's a fancy word for saying that we have these receptors in our bodies that react to and are activated by cannabinoids, and CBD, cannabidiol, is one of those major cannabinoids. Um, and so what scientists and doctors have been discovering over the past 25, 30 years is that lots of the systems in our bodies are regulated and balanced out by cannabinoids. Our body has a natural way of stabilizing itself, which is known as homeostasis. Um, and there's been lots of research on um, endocannabinoid deficiency syndrome, which is you can sort of relate it to a vitamin D deficiency or iron deficiency, where we're just missing a vital part of our health. And so the solution to that is UltraCell, which is the very next slide. And so when you see that people are reporting that they're having success with sleep or having benefits with their mood or their energy levels or their pain is improving or their joints are less inflamed, and they just feel better overall. There's the people will tell you that they have improvements with neurological issues and autoimmune issues, and so the reason is that there's a variety and a widespread effect of CBD on our bodies and our health is because these receptors throughout our body, they activate and help balance out multiple different systems. Um, so it's not like a drug where it's just targeted at one specific thing. It really is a whole body health supplement that has lots of side benefits rather than like side effects like most other drugs and medicines and some other supplements have. So it's a whole body health supplement that has lots of side benefits. Some people may be concerned about migraines, but a month or two down the road, they may feel like, man, I just feel better overall. I'm less achy. I have more energy. My mood's improved. So there's a variety of things that CBD can do for our bodies. And so we mentioned before that part of the solution to this deficiency in our bodies of endocannabinoids, and by endo we mean endogenous, which means they're just naturally made in our bodies, um, is that we have to reintroduce cannabinoids into our bodies if we're deficient in them. And so the best way to get that is through the hemp plant. That's why it's called a phyto, meaning coming from a plant, phytocannabinoid. And so um, part of what makes UltraCell really beneficial for us is that it's full spectrum, meaning that we don't take out we don't take out things that are critical to our health, and we don't take out things that naturally grow in the plant. So we take the whole plant, extract oil from the whole plant. And so yes, it's not there's more than just CBD in it. There's nearly 100 other different kinds of cannabinoids in the hemp plant. There's terpenes, which is what gives essential oils their aroma and helps with some of the benefits that essential oils gives us. Um, there's different vitamins and minerals, omegas and proteins that all of these things together, they work together sort of in a synergistic way, and they're not these isolated oils that some of these companies produce. Some people talk about CBD isolates that they take, and they may be receiving a benefit, but the reality is when you use a full spectrum oil, that benefit is multiplied exponentially um, when you take all these compounds that naturally occur in the hemp plant and you leave them all in there. And so this full spectrum um, line of products is known as the Ultra brand, the Ultra line. And so on the left here, we have the full spectrum UltraCell Hemp CBD Topical Cream and the UltraCell Full Spectrum Hemp CBD Oil Drops. So the topical cream is great for localized and targeted aches and pains or skin issues. It's almost instant relief for a lot of people. Um, it absorbs in the skin really quickly, and the oil drops go under your tongue for about a minute, and then you swallow them, and that's really for whole body support. Um, it gets in your bloodstream super quick, lasts in your bloodstream a long time, and so lots of people use those sort of for an inside out, outside in effect for their health and for their bodies. And these three on the right, the Dream, Edge, and Ice, those are not hemp products, and they don't contain any CBD at all. They are what's known as boosters that sort of mimic um, endocannabinoids and also help activate our endocannabinoid system in our bodies. So there's a sleep support called the Ultra Dream um, that is really targeted on if people really have trouble staying asleep, falling asleep, having good quality restful sleep. The Ultra Edge is for cognitive support, focus, energy, and then the Ultra Ice is more for homeostasis. Lots of people have reported benefits with inflammation, and my wife Jaden actually uses the ice pretty much on a daily basis to help with some of her joint issues in addition to the UltraCell. So um, again, on the left we have topical and oil drops that are full spectrum hemp CBD oil, and on the right we have the boosters that don't contain any hemp or CBD in them. They're just different botanical mixes, all natural botanical mixes that have targeted effects. So one of the reasons that we specifically and others in the company are really comfortable claiming that UltraCell is the gold, the highest standard of hemp oil around, is because number one, it's organically grown. It's USDA certified organic, all the way from the soil to the seed to the planting, growing, harvesting. The company oversees the whole process from seed to bottle. It's the oil is extracted by CO2 methods, so there's no chemical process it goes through that alters what's in the oil at all. And we'll find out here in just a minute about the proprietary UltraCell technology, about why this oil is superior to others. And one of the bonuses, it's available in an oral and a topical version. So some people take both, some people take one or the other. Jaden and I, we take the oil every day, and we use the topical as we need it. One more thing before I forget, I want to add in here that sets UltraCell apart and makes it the gold standard is the THC content. So THC is the compound that's found in marijuana that makes you high. And there is trace amounts of THC in hemp. And so a lot of the full spectrum hemp oils out there, you may test positive on a drug test for THC in your system. And so for people who work jobs or where they're drug tested, that's a big deal. But here's the deal with UltraCell is every single bottle that they sell that has a QR code on it that takes you to the testing results for each batch. And so each bottle is guaranteed to have less than 0.0% THC in it. And so what that means is that it's it's got way less than the legal limit, which is 0.3%. So if you're the reality here is if you're worried about THC being detected in a drug test, and UltraCell is your only source of THC, you'd have to take an ungodly amount of this stuff for it to show up. Jaden and I have been drug tested by our doctor, um, to sort of back that up and say, we're really confident that we can share this with people, and not feel uneasy about the THC content. Another reason why we're confident in this is one of the ladies on our team who recently signed up because of this thing I'm about to share is that she is severely allergic to THC. So much so that if she even um, comes into brief contact with someone smoking marijuana, she will have severe reactions to that. And so she was really hesitant to try UltraCell because she knew it was full spectrum hemp oil and knew it had trace amounts of CBD in it, or of THC in it. Um, but eventually she took one individual drop, didn't have a reaction, waited a little bit longer, took 2 or 3 drops, no reactions, used the topical, helped her out with leg cramps, no reactions. So as she used it more and more, she was like, okay, this stuff is for real. The claims they make of no THC in it, less than 0.0%, are for real. So she's a believer now. Like she signed up and ordered some topical because it helps her leg cramps, and she doesn't have reactions to the THC in it. So um, if you're worried about the THC content, it's very, very negligible, um, and we have no issues recommending this to people who work jobs where they get drug tested, because we believe if UltraCell is all they're taking, um, that their chances of testing positive for THC are very, very unlikely. Um, so all those things combined add up to make UltraCell the gold standard and the best quality full spectrum hemp oil out there. Okay, so this slide here probably probably is the main thing that sets UltraCell apart from any other hemp oil CBD company out there. Um, our bodies are mostly made of water, and so we any kind of oil we take in doesn't absorb very well into our bodies, into our bloodstream, into our intestines. And so Zilis has created the UltraCell technology and delivery system, um, that allows the oil to be absorbed into our mostly water bodies. So it's water soluble. And this graph here, it's a clinical study that they've done back in February of 2018, where it shows that even within 1 hour, if you're tracking this graph here in the bottom left, within 1 hour of taking UltraCell, um, you've got blood levels of CBD in the blood at, getting up to 50, 60, 70, 70% within an hour. And then over the next 12 hours, that sort of regulates and stabilizes anywhere between the 80 and 90% range for about 12 hours. Um, and so this spike here, sort of above this 2 hour mark, that blue spike is up to 94% absorbed in the bloodstream. And so most CBD oils, because they don't have the UltraCell technology, is they absorb less than 10%, sometimes as low as 3%. And so if you can imagine, if you spend $100 on a bottle of UltraCell and $100 on some other bottle of CBD oil, maybe it's cheaper, maybe it has higher milligrams, maybe it's a bigger bottle and you think you're getting a better deal. Here's the reality: is if you spend $100 with UltraCell, you're gonna get upwards of in the 80s, 90, as high as $94 worth out of that $100 bottle that your body's actually using. And if you spend $100 on some other oil that's just your straight up hemp oil, um, on a good day, you might get 10% of, or $10 of that your body's actually using, but most likely it's going to be in the 5-6% range, $5-6 range. So you're going to waste over $90 worth of that product and of that CBD. And so when you break it down into the cost per milligram of CBD that is actually absorbed and used by our body, UltraCell is by far a more cost-effective way because you're going to take it less often, take less of it. Whereas if you have the CBD oil that doesn't absorb as much, you're going to be taking more dropperfuls of it more often, maybe buying multiple bottles a month. So um, for people that say that they've got these really cheap high milligram bigger bottles of CBD, the reality is usually you do get what you pay for, and that most likely some of those cheaper brands are just not being used by our body, and your body isn't being benefited nearly as much as you would with using UltraCell. Okay, one of the cool things about Zilis is they've made these 7-day mini versions of both the topical and the oil drops. Um, and so they're both intended to be used for a week. And you just sort of say, okay, what areas of my health would I love to see improve? And 80% of the people who respond um, to ambassadors of their of what their results were, 80% of those people within that first week find some noticeable benefit or improvement in their health. Um, so it's an inexpensive way to try it for a week, see how your body responds to it, um, and then for me and Jaden, you know, after we tried it for a week, we jumped in to to be an ambassador, and after being on it for several months, we've seen even more benefits from it. And one of the new things they're doing is over the course of the next year, every 3 months, Zilis is gonna give away $25,000 worth of prizes and products and all kinds of giveaways every quarter. So that adds up to 100 grand a year. And all you got to do is if you take the 7-day challenge, you take one of these minis for a week. You simply record a video of how it worked for you. If it worked really well, if it didn't work so well, if you're not quite sure, you just record a quick little video and you send it into the website, and we can hook you up with that if you'd like to do that. But it just puts you in the drawing. It's worth a shot to win something. But these 7-day minis are a great way to get the product in people's hands, have people try them, and just a really cool business concept for sharing their product with people. Okay, we mentioned before that one of the reasons Jade and I were attracted to this company was because they have several different ways that they intentionally bless other people, and it's sort of a foundation of their business. So in the top right corner of your screen, this Pay It Forward nutrition program, that was the first thing Zilis started doing, was that for every product they sold, they would send a day's worth of nutrition um, packs and food packs to areas in the world. Um, I believe in Haiti, where nutrition was just lacking. And then a year later, they partnered with a company called Vitamin Angels, where for every product sold, they would send um, a day's worth of prenatal and multivitamins to mothers and children in need. And so they've done a study to where in some of these areas they've actually reduced the infant mortality rate about 30% in these areas where they've distributed the prenatal vitamins. And so those two things are pretty cool. That every time a bottle is sold within the company, within your team, um, that you're helping provide some food packs and some vitamins to people who need them. And then most recently, they started the Patriot program, which is really neat. Um, there's lots of veterans in our country who have served us and given up a lot and sacrificed a lot to help us have the freedom in America to do these kind of businesses. And but lots of these guys and gals are suffering from PTSD and from suicidal issues, depression issues, chronic pain issues. And what Zilis does is they partner with their ambassadors um, to help give free bottles and free jars of the topical of UltraCell to veterans, and they work with nonprofits who then distribute those for free to veterans who need them. Um, so that's really cool. It strikes a chord with a lot of people that they would be willing to give away product that really does help with a lot of those issues that I just mentioned. So those are three of the big ways that Zilis pays it forward: the food packs, the vitamins, and the Patriot program. And then one thing we'll mention later is the blessing bonus for ambassadors. But those four things combined, um, it's pretty special to be a part of. And Jaden and I really value that if we're going to try this kind of business. Okay, so this is sort of the midpoint of the presentation, and if you've seen some of the science behind UltraCell and our bodies and how CBD works with our endocannabinoid system, and you're interested and you want to try some, um, you can try a 7-day mini from the ambassador that showed you this video. But if you want to try to actually buy more product and buy a bigger bottle for a month, you can buy a bottle retail. And so you can go online from whoever shared this with you, go to their website and buy online from them and have it shipped directly to you. Or if they have product in stock personally, you can buy it from them in person. If you want to get some cheaper prices, but you're not quite ready to sign up to get wholesale prices, you can do what's called a preferred customer. And basically what that means is that you buy one bottle retail for the first month, and then after that you get the cheapest allowed retail price, which is $120 for a 30-day supply of UltraCell. But then if you want to get it even cheaper, there's wholesale options, which we'll go into details later. But basically, wholesale, you can get a bottle of UltraCell or a jar of the topical for $99. And if you're a business or a medical clinic that's going to be using a lot of it, you can get them for as low as $50 a bottle if you buy in bulk. But for your standard person who's just going to use a bottle for themselves at home, $99, and plus you get access and opportunity with the business, which we'll go into this very next slide. Okay, so one of the things that Jaden and I are very upfront with people about, and that we don't try to hide, is that there is a really powerful business opportunity by becoming an ambassador and signing up with Zilis. And we're going to quickly go through some of the income and money-making opportunities that exist with it. But one of the cool things is that it's super flexible. So whether you want to do it part-time, or you're a stay-at-home mom or stay-at-home dad, or you just want to kind of dabble in it, like you just want to get your feet wet, like there's flexibility. There's no like heavy expectations or requirements that you do all this crazy team building stuff. You can set your own hours, work as much as you want to. You can be as involved as you want to be, and go at your own pace. So that's really attractive to Jaden and I, is that as we have little kids and both have normal jobs, we do this 30 minutes, an hour each night. We work on our Zilis stuff, and the flexibility of that's pretty cool. One of the cool ways that you can make money with Zilis, especially with the UltraCell products, is the retail program. And so if you have a retail store, a medical clinic, health and wellness shop, a spa, salon, a gym, any of these kind of places, there's potential, to buy for as low as $50 a bottle and sell for as high as $150 a bottle. So you can potentially make $100 a bottle on selling UltraCell. And there's no requirement to build a team of people or to sign up people. If you just want to focus straight up on retail, you can buy it wholesale, sell it for retail, and you keep the profit of the difference between the price that you set and what you bought for wholesale. So if you're a shop or a clinic, or and you're not really interested in the team building part, you don't have to. You can make really good money doing retail, just on retail profits. If you're an ambassador, or if you're thinking about becoming an ambassador, who do you know that has a retail shop, has a medical clinic? Who do you know in these different networks in different areas that could be really good team members for you? Um, so the retail potential is big here. Okay, so let's get to the team building aspect, and this is where, like, honestly, a lot of people are nervous because lots of people haven't done this before and they don't quite understand it. So really quickly, um, the structure of signing people up and building a team is pretty simple. You have two legs, a left and a right, and you just add people to one of those sides every time somebody signs up. Um, you can earn up to $130 just for signing someone up with with a gold pack. We'll talk about the different sign up packs later on. But there's potential just to earn like a one-time, sort of like a finder's fee of $130 for signing someone up. And then in addition to that, there's different levels and different percentages that with anybody in your team signs anybody else up, and that continues through infinity, you can earn percentages, commissions on the sign up volume. And so once your team gets going and once it starts multiplying, this adds up really quickly. And it can be intimidating at first, but Jaden and I can vouch that even in the few months we've been in the program, we are starting to see how this really works and how this can multiply. And so once the ball gets rolling with your team, this is one of the powerful ways to earn some income for your Zilis business. Okay, so Zilis also offers a benefits program that's really neat. The first one is a blessing bonus, and that's sort of the fourth aspect of the Pay It Forward foundation is that once you hit the rank of area, which I believe is the fourth rank, is they pay you $100 a month so that you give it away. You buy something for somebody in need. You pay for somebody's gas. You help out a nonprofit. Whatever way you want to bless somebody, it's up to you. So they expect you to give it away, but you have the freedom to give it away to wherever, whoever you want to. Oh, sorry. The blessing bonus is once you hit city, which is actually the third rank. The fourth rank is area, which is where you unlock a Jeep. You get reimbursed for a new Jeep, which is really cool. Jaden and I are gonna. That's one of our goals, and we're gonna do it. And there's lots of people across the country who are earning their Jeeps. Moving on up, once you hit regional, you have access to, you get reimbursed for healthcare costs. That's a big one. And then eventually you can unlock a global bonus pool, which is every 3 months they pay out based on the total sales of the company. And then for the people who make it all the way to the top, you have the opportunity to get a motorhome. But in all honesty, like if you just focus on one of these at a time, which is what me and Jaden are doing, it'll all take care of itself. And so in the top left and right corners, this 4x4 idea. It's a powerful way and it's a simple way to understand how you can multiply your team, how you can grow a team quickly. And so the idea is that through whatever work and however long it takes, you find 4 people that are going to be serious about the business to sign up under your team. Okay? And then you help train them and you teach them and you help lead them and support them. And each of those 4 people find 4 people themselves that are serious about the business. And then now you have 16 people. And if you keep multiplying and repeating that 4x4, just a few levels, you can end up with a few hundred, 1,000, 4,000 people on your team. And if you do the math with these commissions, even if everybody on your team is just buying 1 bottle a month to use for themselves and they don't have all these big huge orders, if they're just buying 1 bottle a month and you have several hundred, several thousand people on your team, I mean, there's people who are making thousands of dollars, $5, $10, $15, $20,000 just by doing the 4x4 and having lots of people order one bottle a month. So just as this hemp industry and CBD industry explodes, like that's a reality here, and it's a legitimate way to make a lot of money. Because eventually, once you get the ball rolling with your team, this is residual income that just keeps coming to you. You know, a lot of these people you may not even know because people on your team have signed up other people. So the 4x4 is a powerful and simple way to build a business. And again, so the retail, the binary, team building, and these residual commissions, these are all separate ways to earn money with Zilis, and there's 7 distinct ways to earn money with Zilis. And we can go more into details on the compensation plan and all those 7 ways at a different time. So for those of you who are growing an interest and are really thinking hard about, man, this sounds really good. Maybe you're nervous about being a salesperson. Here's the reality: is that I'm a teacher. Jaden's a photographer. We don't sell stuff. We're not salesmen. And so we had that concern as well. But what we learned was that if we just simply share how UltraCell has worked for us and benefited us, both with health and financially, just share our story with people. That's all it takes to get it started with somebody. You don't have to convince them or beg them to do anything. You just share what you've been using and how it's worked for you. And then for the people who are interested in what you're talking about, you simply share the video. You can share this video with them. There's other presentations that I can send you to that will do this same presentation for them, or you bring them to a meeting to have a live presentation. You find some way to just, here, can you watch this for 45 minutes and see what you think? And then step 3 is you simply share the product, 7-day mini. You offer a 1-month bottle for them to buy. You just share it with them for them to try. Because honestly, the UltraCell products and the results people get from that sort of does a lot of the selling for you. So you don't have to feel like a used car salesman and try to keep convincing people to join your team or buy your products. You just share your story, give them the opportunity, give them the information, and give them the opportunity to try the product. And if you just keep it that simple, that's enough to build a business, to build a team. And then once you start having financial success, that becomes part of your story too, that you share with people. That you're just a normal person, and now you're being successful at this, and people will see that and jump on board. Okay, so we mentioned this earlier, and this slide's even bigger with the 2018 Farm Bill in mind. So the timing and positioning of Zilis specifically, it started a little over 3 years ago, so that would have been the formulation stage, and this is what all businesses go through, whether it's network marketing or a retail shop or a grocery store, anything. Over the past year or two, Zilis has been concentrating, getting people involved, getting the word out, growing. But where businesses really take off is when they hit the momentum phase. And Zilis is creeping towards that line, closer and closer to momentum of really going vertical. And this 2018 Farm Bill is going to just pour gasoline on that fire. And so really for the next 2 to 5 years, Zilis is going to be entering the momentum phase where growth is going to be very rapid. And so for the people who are involved right now and the people who get involved very soon, they're going to be in position, if they're willing to put in the work, they're going to be in position to build a business and build an income that perhaps they've never seen before and their family's never seen before. And so in all honesty, right now, in the next few days, few weeks, few months, like right now is the time to jump into this. If you're interested, if you're if this is sort of clicking for you, if this makes sense for you, um, and you want to jump in, the timing couldn't be better. I mean, this is going to be a billion, even up to there's projections within the next 10 years. There's going to be $1 trillion industry that surpasses corn and tobacco combined in America. So this is no joke. This is legitimate. This is a real opportunity um, that some people will get, and some people will look back in a few years and be like, "Oh man, remember that one time I watched that presentation and I was skeptical and I kept saying no and I overanalyzed it and I said no. I wish I would have said yes." Because here's the reality: is if you can look back 30 years ago, 25 years ago to when Amazon was first starting, they were a bookstore, and lots of people probably said no to investing in Amazon. But if we could all go back 25 years and invest at the very beginning, man, we would be sitting pretty right now. And if you could go back in the early 1980s with Apple, um, and invest in Apple when it was first starting, knowing now what it is, the $1 billion business it is, um, anybody in their right mind would have jumped on that train. So this is where we're going. The industry is there; it's wide open market. Um, so don't be that person who looks back in 2 years and says, "Man, I missed it. Like I missed the opportunity, and I was given the opportunity." Um, so Jaden and I, we jumped on it. We don't want to miss it. Okay, so after hearing this presentation, seeing some of the science, seeing some of the business aspects, here's the deal. Regardless of what level you sign up at, you get all the same things on the far left. You get your own personalized website name that people can go to and buy product and sign up under you. You get an online back office um, called the Ambassador Cloud, where you have access to resources and training videos, and you can sort of see what's going on in your team. You have access to the customer support if you need to figure out how to solve something or have a question. And then you have access to the same exact wholesale pricing, regardless of the level you come in at. So let's talk about the different sign-up packs. So the gold pack, that's by far the best value. It's $12.99, and honestly, that's what Jaden and I started with. We actually both signed up with the gold, um, and so yeah, that was sort of a big chunk of change to invest initially. But however, um, we made back my gold pack investment in a month, and then we made Jaden's back the very next month. So within 2 months, we've made back two gold packs, um, and so that was really cool for us. That was really our first goal, was to make back our money, make back our initial investment. And so now anything after this is just gravy. It's just icing on the cake. Um, and so because we signed up at the gold pack, we have higher commissions when we build a team. We have a higher weekly payout once our team gets growing bigger. We got lots of product. We got lots of product to share with people and use for ourselves. Um, so we got each of the three boosters. None of the other packs have the three boosters that come with them. And actually, I believe they're the big bottles that are 2 month supplies of the boosters. We get one big jar of the UltraCell topical. We get four big bottles, the month supplies of the UltraCell oil drops. We get 12 mini bottles of the UltraCell oil and 12 mini topicals. So you have a ton of product to share with people, to sell to people, and to if you're serious about the business and about building an income with this, the gold pack is simply the way you want to go, because you get better value at first, you get bigger discounts, you get more product, and you get set up, and you sort of have a head start with the income building portion of it. If you want to do the gold, but you're like, man, I don't have $1,300 right now, go for the silver. $5.99. You get a little bit less commission with your binary team building, a little bit less of a weekly cap with your initial earnings with your binary team, and you get less product. And so you get one big jar of the topical, one big bottle of hemp oil, and then you have your choice to get 12 mini topicals or 12 mini oils, whereas at the gold you get 12 of both. There's no boosters in the silver, and so but if you want to be able to share it and sell it to people and start your business, the silver is perfectly fine if you can't afford the gold right now. And then for those of you who um, you're not super interested in building a team of people or selling a bunch of product to people, you can sign up at the bronze level for only $199. It's $200. So you get the lowest commission potential, the lowest weekly earning cap with the team building, and you just get one bottle of UltraCell hemp oil and a mini version of that, and or you can choose the big jar of topical and a mini version of the topical. So you get one big one to use for yourself, and you get one mini version to share with somebody. So you really don't get a lot of product to share with people. Which, if you're just interested in getting wholesale pricing yourself and not selling stuff and not building a team, the bronze is probably the way you want to go, because it's the cheapest one. You don't care about the business part, and you just want to get cheaper CBD products for yourself. That's probably the way to go for you. But also, if you want to do the business, but you just don't have the silver or gold pack money to invest right now, you can start with the bronze and work your way up, and you just pay the difference between the sign-up packs, and you get the difference in product. So you can upgrade at any time. So if you want to get in and be in position, and the bronze is all you can afford and all you can invest right now, there's no shame in that, and that's okay, because you can always upgrade. And so what me and Jaden have been doing is we made our gold pack back, and we've reinvested and bought more product at discounts. We've actually been able to pay for a very large vendor event several months from now that costs some money, and we're able to reinvest in our business so that we can keep growing it, because it does take some time to grow this and do it well. But we understand that if we spend all of our Zilis money on our groceries right now, that we're not able to reinvest back in the business. So whatever level you sign up at, you can always upgrade, and as you make money with that, you reinvest in the business so you can grow it. So months down the line, you'll be glad that you did. All right, won't spend a ton of time here, just for the sake of time, honestly. For people who have super good connections and who want to just go for it in their first month, if you sign up with a gold pack, and then you sign up 4 gold packs under you, and then you help them sign 4 people. So basically, you sign up with a gold pack, and then there ends up being 16 gold packs under you in the first month. You can qualify for your Jeep right then. And so it's called a fast track. And so if people have the connections and have the drive to do that, it's just an opportunity. Jaden and I did not do that, but it's there if people want to go for it. Okay, so we'll go through this pretty quickly. I have printouts of this win sheet, and basically it's just a big checklist of different steps to take if you're a new ambassador, if you do sign up, of how to, I'm in, what do I do now? There's just a checklist of stuff, and we'll walk you through this if you choose to sign up and want to build a business. We'll walk you through all this stuff. Social media, Facebook, Instagram, different websites. Just get plugged in. You get updates, get news. You get to see the posts that the company makes and they share. And this last page here, Monday nights. That's the one me and Jaden tune into almost every Monday, is to hear the conference call, the webinar, the Freedom Call. And that's where Stephen Thompson and other leaders in the company share their stories, share tips, share trainings with you. If you want to hear this presentation again or hear it from somebody else, every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern, they do this same presentation, both over the phone and with the slides on the computer. You hear it from different people from different perspectives and share some of their own stories with it too. the opportunity is there. Every Saturday they have a new ambassador launch training at 12 p.m. Eastern time. So that's if you've signed up. It's about an hour-long training where they give you some really simple, direct first steps to start taking so you can get your business going in the right direction. And so the phone number for the conference calls and the website for the webinars are there. So to finish up, if you've sat through this presentation and you've taken a few notes and written down some questions, please give us those questions. We'd love to answer them. We'd love to sit down with you and give you whatever information you want. If you want to sign up or buy product from whoever shared this video with you, whether it's us or somebody in our team, get with them, let them know. We'll walk you through it. And again, any questions, we're here to support you and get you set up going in the right direction with this crazy big potential industry and business with hemp CBD. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching this. I hope it was helpful, and we hope to talk with you soon. Thank you.